let's talk about how you wound up in Indy Lights, all the way from Australia to here. How did that happen?
It's been a long time coming. I've always had aspirations to race internationally, and America was my choice. I came here in 1996 and raced Formula 4 2000, and the plan was to move on back then, but unfortunately it was hard to raise the money back home in Australia to do Indy Lights back at that stage, and I went back home and spent a couple of years in tin tops back home, and managed to get back over here now.
And we talk about tin tops. Those are the V8 sedans, and I found out last year that Australia, they are huge. People in Australia just love them. I mean, it's kind of like what this series is in the United States. We just don't realize it being in Australia.
Yeah, it is. It is very big, and that's some of the problem for young drivers in Australia to get overseas. It's so big that Australians become a little bit blind to the open wheeler scene, and there's a lot of good young Australian drivers that try to go international, and unfortunately it's hard to raise the money to go internationally, but it's only the same dollars that you need to do a V8 championship back home, but it's a lot easier to raise money for the V8s.
Now you're in this series and getting some experience in open wheels. You also got a ride to run at Surfers Paradise with Carl Hogan. Talk about that a little bit. That's got to be exciting to go back to Queensland in front of the home folks and in a FedEx Championship Series event.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity, and it's something that I'm very fortunate it's going to happen immediately in my first year over in America again. So we're really trying to use it to boost our chances of getting full time into champ cars next year. And I think Australia is a little bit like you said, they concentrate on the V8 series, and as soon as we can get out there in a champ car and prove to Australian companies the exposure that's available through champ cars and through that event and having an Australian to barrack for, I'm sure we can go further and raise the money to get a champ car budget.
What do you think the reaction is going to be when you go out on the racetrack as Surfers in a champ car in front of the Australian fans who are a little crazy anyway?
It's been a long time coming. It's been a very long time since an Australian driver's raced either champ cars or Formula 1 competitively. So I guess for the fans, they don't know what to expect as far as the exposure and how big an event it's going to be now with an Australian representative.
How big is it key for you now to learn with the Indy Lights to get the open wheel experience in these cars before you make that jump towards the end of the year? I'm sure that you want to test and practice and run as many laps as you can for Georgia.
Yeah, we're doing as much as we can. We're limited to the amount of test days to do it. It would be great to do a lot more than what we are doing, but I'm just enjoying every minute of it. At the moment, we're testing a lot at the start of the season to get up to speed, and hopefully later in the year we'll do a bit of champ car testing before we race in Australia, and so it should end up quite a full year and a lot of open wheeler miles for me.
Now you've only raced one event so far in the Indy Lights, but that was a pretty competitive race. How do you see that? Do you think already that it might be a little tougher than you thought, or as tough as you thought it would be?
It's certainly as tough as I thought. There's 20 young guys, all with the same aspirations as myself, and they're all out there to win. Every team's a winner, and we're battling hard with all of them.